Hi everyone, this is Dave Foster. As we gather together this evening, I'd like to start off by sharing a story with you. Kathy had just come home from a weekly grocery shop. She came into the house holding the lip of a full grocery sack in one hand, balancing a crying baby on the other arm, and urging forward two tired and grouchy preschool sons. Just as she squeezed through the back door and swung around the kitchen counter, the side of the paper grocery pack ripped. The sack and everything in it crashed to the floor, including a large economy-sized bottle of liquid dish soap. When the soap bottle hit the linoleum floor, the lid sprang off. The honey-like innards glugged out and the mess spread across the kitchen floor. Kathy told me what happened next. She put the crying baby, still crying, into her high chair. She told the two boys to jump over the pool of soap. Then she also leapt across the puddle to grab a roll of paper towels. As she got on her knees to sop the soap, she heard a strange hissing sound coming from the grocery sack. Despite its torn lip, the sack was sitting half upright on the floor where it had crashed. Kathy looked inside to see what was happening. A 2-liter strawberry soda bottle had ruptured inside the dropped bag. The hissing sound was soda escaping from the bottle and rapidly filling the bottom of the paper sack. Kathy grabbed the bottle and the few groceries remaining in the grocery sack and threw them into the sink. Then slowly, ever so carefully, she lifted the paper sack with its pool of soda and inched toward the sink. She almost made it, but then the bottom fell out. As a consequence, carbonated strawberry soda and liquid detergent began to swirl together around her feet. The result, strawberry suds. The kids loved it, but Kathy, not even a little bit. My question this evening is, what do you do when the bottom falls out? I don't know about your careers, your security, or your health, but these things could be affected. Maybe that's a silly little story, but there are sort of serious stories that go around, like the church elder who watched helplessly for 1.5 years as his only daughter's marriage disintegrated. Then he lost his job, and then his daughter is killed in an accident caused by a drunk driver. What do you do when the bottom falls out of your life? Some verses from scripture that we can look at and take comfort from. If we look at Daniel, the book of Daniel, chapter 1, I'm just going to read odd verses. Verse 3 from chapter 1, then the king ordered Ashpenaz, chief of his court officials, to bring in some of the Israelites from the royal family and the nobility, young men without any physical defect, handsome, showing aptitude for every kind of learning, well-informed, quick to understand, qualified to serve in the king's palace. So Daniel was a person of nobility or royalty. He was clever, and the bottom must have fallen out of his life when he was taken into captivity. Daniel goes on to tell us some of the things that happened in his life. He was asked to go and stand before the king. And remember, he and his 3 friends decided not to eat from the food and wine, and he got permission to do that. And after 10 days, it says from verse 15, at the end of the 10 days they looked healthier and better nourished than any of the young men who ate the royal food. And when he was brought before the king, in verse 18, it says, and at the end of the time set by the king to bring them in, The chief official presented them to Nebuchadnezzar. The king talked with them, and he found none equal to Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So they entered the king's service. In every matter of wisdom and understanding about which the king questioned them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters in the whole kingdom. As things go along, the king has a dream, and he wants the wise men to tell him what he dreamed. And he said if they can't do that, he would kill them. Daniel was one of the wise men, and again, it must have been serious for him to know that if he didn't tell the king his dream, he would be numbered amongst those that were going to be killed. But he goes to God and he seeks God's face. And in chapter 2 and verse 17 it says, Then Daniel returned to his house and explained the matter to his friends Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. He urged them to plead for mercy from the God of heaven concerning this mystery, so that he and his friends might not be executed. And during the night the mystery was revealed to Daniel, and Daniel praised the God of heaven. And whatever you're going through at the moment, and however the situation is affecting our well-being and our health, we shouldn't forget God. And He's the sovereign Lord. He's planned this from the beginning. And as you go before Him, let me just finish off by reading a psalm to you, or a portion of a psalm. Oh, sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bless His name. Proclaim the good news of His salvation from day to day. Declare His glory among the nations, His wonders among all peoples. For the Lord is great, and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. Just so far. And may you just realize that when the bottom seems to fall out of your life, God is still there.